What's up, Brandy?
Okay.
Hey, Brandy.
Hi. Well, gentlemen, hope you guys ate lunch today, please.
Not yet.
Bury your dues and being hangry is not fun. I already know.
Bury your dues and being hangry.
Hey, I'm here in Oakland. I'm born and raised here, so I'm a city kid. I'm fully aware that we don't let you guys starve at all.
And yet they keep closing Everett and Jones. What has happened?
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to talk about it. We don't even have time to go to that. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys for this time. So I want to just dive into all my wonderful questions for you both. Thank you for making the time, though. I appreciate you both.
Yeah, hit it.
So let's start with you, Raf. You directed for your first time last season.
Sure did.
And you directed a lot more this new season. So how are you feeling about that?
Feeling great. I don't have to argue with nobody. No, it's been amazing. I mean, the reality is like, I've wanted to direct for a long time. I directed a lot of short form stuff, but earning the trust from a studio to direct, episodic is a big hurdle. It's hard to get into the DGA. It's hard to get somebody to let you play with their money like that, and so it was great to go through season 1 and get to watch a lot of other directors direct on our show and see how they do it and take the parts I liked and leave the things that I didn't and see what was the challenge, and then come in at the end and direct the final episode. But what was great about that is it got me all the network trust that I needed. And season 2, not only did they let me direct half the season, but we managed to use, I think, that momentum a bit to let Jess Wu Calder direct. One of our other executive producers directed 2 episodes, and Jess has produced like 20 movies and produced the movie and produced all of season 1. And so it was a no-brainer to let her direct 2. And so season 2 is a really exciting chapter directorially because so much of it is directed by people who've been a part of the project for 17 years.
17 years?
Yeah.
A long time.
I don't know if you know this, but it's hard to make stuff.
Trust me, I do. Trust me.
When people slide in my DMs like, yo, man, you got to let me be an actor on the show. I'm like, long list.
Very long list, but there was some familiar Bay Area faces there. So it was good. So I wanted to ask you about like having that representation, local representation, either one of you. What does that mean? What does that look like? Why did you do it?
I mean, we did it because we're fans and they, would answer the phone. But like, I don't, it does 2 things, I think. Like, it doubles down on the specificity of the show, which I think is good for art and also good for us from home to get to see ourselves like that. But then like also, just adds like a level of fun for us. I mean, E40 is my favorite rapper, point blank, period, always and forever. Like we got to, I watched Rafa direct him in a Western. Like that's, that's like, I wouldn't have even known to put that on a bucket list, but there it was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
having Pilo or Dante Bosco, like all of these, like, Ruby Ibarra, like people don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's for the home team. Like, and if you know Ruby and Ruby's work, and if you've been a fan of Ruby's work for a long time, then you see it, like you see her up there. That's crazy, like that. Yeah. You don't get to see stuff like that when you're from where we're from, so it's cool.
That's very true. But there was some criticism last year about how it didn't represent the Bay Area enough, or it didn't have the, what's the word I'm looking for? It was basically, there was some criticism from some people who are here either from Oakland or live in Oakland or out of the Bay Area. And I wanted to know your thoughts on that criticism, that it didn't accurately or closely enough represent the Bay Area.
I don't know that there's ever going to be a way for a show to accurately represent the Bay Area. That's like being like, what movie accurately represents New York? Who's New York? There's 1,000 TV shows and movies about one place, and people are still like, not my New York. Like that's the Bay. Also, like, we haven't had TV shows before. People have been growing up in the Bay their whole lives, wondering what the TV show would be like in their head if they ever got to make it. I can't make that show that's in your head. I'm not going to make that show in your head. And also I think some of the biggest pushback we got, which honestly wasn't very much. We mostly have a bunch of people support the shit out of the show. Is like that it's not goony enough. It's a show starring all women and it's about women. It's not going to be The Wire. If you want The Wire, go make The Wire. And people are like, oh, how come we don't have our Bay Area Skyfall? Skyfall exists. They already have Skyfall. You should watch that shit. But I think like our show is our show. I hope it passes permission for other people to make their show. But the reality is like the Bay Area has like an atmosphere of hate that you got to break through. And like we came up as rappers, we're used to that. We're used to people talking shit while you're also making some of the dopest shit of your career. And I'm really not concerned with the minority of people that are being like, oh, it's not exactly how I would have done it. Like, bet, go make your TV show. But this is our TV show, and this is how this is going to look for us. And the fans that love it from the Bay, which is in abundance, love the shit out of the show. And so the show is for them. And if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. Keep it fucking pushing.
Jeez, you just really had to pull out the Bay out of there.
I'm saying, like, somebody says something to you, it's like, then it ain't for you, bruh.
But I do look, it's also like never been easy to make a show about or from the Bay, right? And like we'll start seeing more and more. That we just saw the premiere of Boots' show at South by. Like, it's another great show about the Bay.
People are gonna have a problem with that too.
Yeah. But like this world can continue to get bigger, and that's cool. And it's nice to be a part of that. But yeah, like there are a million stories we could tell about this place, and a million different ways to tell them. And I hope somebody does them all. I love this show that we made. You know what I'm saying? Like, who it is for? Me. I love this show. We made the shit out of this show. Like, so look, I really can't be bothered. I when I like something, I want it to exist. This thing exists, and I really like it.
Yeah, and what's amazing is when I go back home and I'm walking around, I don't feel none of that. I feel nothing but love. I got people coming up to me everywhere I go talking about how much they love the show and how much it means to them. And that's all I care about. And that's been the joy of making the show, is like it's found its audience. It knows who it's for, and they pull up for the show tough. And that's all you can do with art. Art is subjective, but the fun is to make it for the people who love it.
Yeah. And I'm glad you guys brought up the music aspect, because there's so much music and poetry, and like that's kind of what people come to the Bay for. I mean, some of us have to leave to create it and then come home.
Almost
always.
Let's be real about it. Like the ceiling is not as high as it should be there. You know what I'm saying? In terms of financial opportunity versus cost of living.
Facts. Rent control departments, solidarity. But the real question is, why is there no soundtrack or playlist for this Bay Area music that we have like all running through the show? Like,
there's
Spotify playlists for all of it. There's a Spotify list for every season, for season 1 and season 2. I'll have its playlist too. That's all the needle drops for the show. And then the soundtrack for the show, the score, is available on iTunes, all that.
Perfect. So then last question then, because my time's almost up. Tell me what you're grateful for today. Tell me what the Bay should be grateful for today.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm grateful. Look, we're having a little premiere celebration in LA today. I'm just grateful that I was able to make it. I'm shooting up in Vancouver. I'm like super grateful that like in a couple of hours, I'm going to actually be in the same room with Rafa and with a bunch of the other people who helped make this show. Because I make art with my friends, and I don't get to see my friends very often. So I'm very, very grateful to see my friends today.
Awesome. Rafa, what are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? Happy, healthy, thriving. Always grateful for that. And what the Bay should be grateful for. I don't know. I can't really tell the Bay what to be grateful for, other than we have such a like robust, beautiful number of different sort of cultural experiences in the Bay, and it's what sets us apart and makes us unique. And I think we're always just trying to celebrate that. I think we always talk about the Bay like it's Whoville, man. We're this little place with a big personality that we're just trying to get people to see. And I think our little, me and David's little role in that is to amplify a little bit more and amplify a little bit more. And I hope what the show can do is keep getting people to pay attention to the Bay, so that all those other stories, all those other artists that we love that people don't know about, all those people right now who are going to read this interview or watch this or whatever, who are feeling very unseen in their art, or in the thing that they have to bring to the world, feel like it has a chance to get seen. That I think is the great thing about the Bay, that I think we can always be grateful for, is we know how to hustle our way into some visibility.
Yeah. I that if you are fortunate enough to be from the Bay, despite all of the hardships, you have a level up on game. You come stock with like a game. Your game threshold, your game floor is higher than most people. So that's always a thing to be grateful for.
Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate both of you. Appreciate the work that you've done. I'm looking forward to the Grand Lake Theaters. I mean, I've already watched it, but I'm going down to Grand Lake Theater. I'm gonna walk down there.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
To be with the folks and see what's what. Yeah,
it's gonna be great. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.